Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Friday Night SmackDown of October 11th, 2024. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall you? I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of SmackDown, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, this is the first week overall. We're both Raw and SmackDown. We're 2 hours long, and I think that we have just so accustomed to SmackDown being 2 hours, and we just weren't so used to Raw being 2 hours, that I really do feel like both shows were like pretty much booked the same. It's just that SmackDown executed much better because I guess they are much more used to it, or we're used to these characters being within this time frame. I mean, the matches were also pretty speed line through, because I was really thinking on Raw. I was like, man, I just don't know why they're suffering so much when, we had SmackDown. And I really do think it's just because I'm used to a United States title match, getting a bunch of commercial breaks within it, and that the match is kind of fast-paced and up-tempo. The women's tag match is probably the match that suffered the most out of all of them, which it is starting to become a running theme. Well, it's been a running theme that the women's multi-women matches seem to get cut the most shortest. But I think this is an exception to the rule. Because one, I just love how much emphasis that we are giving these women tag team titles, is that now there are actual teams. And two, there are teams who want the belts, who are stepping to Bianca and Jade going, we want those titles, we want those titles. Jade and Lash Legend, when they're making their way to the ring, and I saw a bunch of discourse about this, that everyone thought it was negative that these two newbies got cut off in their entrance due to Kevin Owens coming out. And I gotta say, I disagree. And I think that Kevin Owens is a big star. The women's tag team title scene, regardless if Bianca and Jade Cargill are the ones holding the titles, Kevin Owens brings in more viewers. Like, people are most likely going to tune in because they see Kevin Owens. They're like, oh, Kevin Owens is on? Let me turn in to see, especially after the huge angle that they did at Bad Blood. So, to me, my argument to that is no. Lash Legend and I forgot what the other girl's name is, but that tag team got so much more exposure due to Kevin Owens being on the show, and they are being seen more. And I really like the bit where Lash was like, "Yep, you deserve that," when Orton punched him in the face. A good angle overall. Now we are set until January for sure, because I'm pretty sure Cody Rhodes is going to join the original Bloodline for War Games. And I really do now think The Rock is going to work War Games. If he doesn't work War Games, then yeah, at Survivor Series, you do Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. If not, if Rock is doing it and you do need to do the 5v5, Cody Rhodes joins them. Rock joins Bloodline for War Games. And you got Orton versus Kevin Owens at Survivor Series. And then at Saturday night's main event, or the Rumble, then you do Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. And I like how we're probably going to do the suspension angle. I loved what we did with Kevin Owens coming out going, look, they told me not to come here, but F that. I don't know why people are thinking that I turned on Cody. No, Cody turned on me. And then like his mic cut off. Love that. Made it feel very real. But yeah, using that angle to have exposure to these NXT upstars, I think it was pretty good booking decision to me personally. Now for the match itself, they got most of the offense. It went only about 2 minutes long, which means there's more people in the match than there was the match length. But again, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green were there and saying, hey, we want those belts. You got Damage Control on next Monday saying, hey, we're going for the tag team titles. Like, there's a lot more exposure to these tag team belts, which is all I've been really wanting, just to make these titles feel more important. Now we just need some goddamn stories. And we need to give some actual time to these titles and not just on PLEs. Like, if you're going to put them on TV, make 10 minutes for them, or 5. Hell, give them 5 at this point. Just give us something. But I am really glad that we are giving these tag titles some more exposure. Because let's face it, the men's ones aren't getting much stories at all. In fact, I guarantee you half the time people forget. Like, I honestly forget Judgment Day are the World Tag Team Champions. And I honestly forget that the WWE Tag Team Champions are the Bloodline sometimes, because they are just props. And I just think they need to be into stories. Now, it does look like the tag team division on SmackDown, for the men's side anyway, is going to get some more focus within it. Now that the Motor City Machine Guns will be debuting next week. They're going to face off against Legado. They'll get a quick win. And, you know, we have DIY, Street Profits, and just have the Bloodline being more actual tag team stories instead of just being props for within their main stable. Because, I mean, I do think Jay and Jimmy were in actual stories for the most part. Like, you know, there was the story with the Mysterios. And, I mean, who can forget when they went off with a big-ass crescendo with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? I mean, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard, because you give all these single programs these great programs of stories, and the tag team division like, we'll put them in a ladder match. Yeah, no, don't get the people going. It does work, but still. But yeah, really glad that the Motor City Machine Guns will be debuting next week. They'll get a quick win with Legado, and I'm just glad that, you know, there seemed to be some focus on the Friday night men's division. Now let's just get it to Mondays. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, again, matches overall were pretty quick. Naomi versus Nia Jax was probably the best match of the night to me personally. I think Nia is just continuing to show that she is having one of the best runs that she ever has. And Naomi had one of her best matches last week, and I think it's continuing on within this week as well. And I'm glad Naomi got the win. So again, now we have a little bit of a filler with Crown Jewel. Like, it's become very adamant that Crown Jewel is a filler show. And I am kind of sitting here going, okay, let's just get past November 2nd, and then we can get to where Triple H is clearly having much more focus, which is Survivor Series. Because again, if Cody is to be in the War Games match, if The Rock is working it, because why else would he show up at Bad Blood if he doesn't plan on being at WrestleMania at all? I just don't fully believe that report. Then, you know, you got Kevin Owens and Orton at Survivor Series, and then you got also Nia Jax versus Naomi, because Naomi can go, okay, Nia, you're done with Liv. Now it's my shot for that women's title. Let's face it, let's get it at Survivor Series. So, looking forward to that. I mean, that whole angle was just a lot going on. Obviously, we're going to continue on with Rhea versus Liv. And I just think I need more than a month of a break for the storylines. I mean, obviously, Rhea is still very much going to be showcased throughout the show. But I just really want them to be separated. I just think, you know, it needs a little bit of a reset, and we need to stop this whole because of its Dom and all that. Like, sure, Raquel is being pressed into the fold, and I also like how Raquel is the one that helped Naomi get the win, because Raquel is just a muscle for Liv Morgan. And I really wanted it to be Raquel and Rhea, but I mean, the crowd reactions for those two ladies alone. I mean, Nia comes out, you know, there was some reaction, but, you know, everyone's really focused on Tiffany. I really like the promo that Nia Jax cut, saying, look, as soon as I win, Tiffany will cash in and on Liv Morgan, so that it's over. But there is a very interesting question to ask of what we could do at Crown Jewel. Let's say Tiffany cashes in during the match. Are both titles then on the line? Is it whatever champion she pins? Is that the title she gets? Does she somehow get all three titles? Does it become a gigantic unification match? There is a lot to discuss with the potential of Tiffany Stratton cashing in at Crown Jewel. Now, will she? I don't think so. I think Survivor Series is the place that she does it, and it's very clear that she's going to cash in on Nia Jax. But, like, I really do think, you know, maybe they're teasing a little bit, but Raquel will attack Tiffany, and then, you know, it's just a stalemate. And I do have Nia winning in some way, shape, or form. That match is going to be such shenanigans central. Speaking of shenanigans central, every match on this week's episode of SmackDown had the same exact finish. Think about it. LA versus Carmelo Hayes. They're having a good scrap. Carmelo comes out. Andrade comes out. Carmelo gets a little distracted. LA Knight wins. The tag team match. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are jaw-jacking with Lash Legend, and they get distracted, and then they lose. Naomi versus Nia Jax. Raquel and Liv get involved a little bit. Naomi gets the win because Nia is distracted. And then, of course, the Bloodline match with Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. Bloodline gets involved. Jimmy loses. Roman comes out. Like, that was literally every finish of this episode of SmackDown. And I don't mind it. I mean, it tells great stories. It's a good plot device. But when it's the same thing over and over again, it is a little jarring. I'm just saying, spread out a little bit. Just have some people get some wins. That's all I ask for. That's really all. Like, man, just every single ending was a distraction finish. But yeah, The promos were also pretty good too. Love the opening with Roman and Jimmy when Jimmy's like, look, we need help. And the crowd knew, so they went yeet, yeet, yeet. And Roman going no yeet. So again, we're building to Survivor Series. And it just feels like Crown Jewel is just okay. We just got to get through these next 3 weeks. But we all know where we really want to be, which is late November at Survivor Series in Canada. So yeah, we're doing all of that. Really like the promo segment between Nia and Naomi and Tiffany. We already talked about that. But yeah, overall, I think this was a good episode of SmackDown, but I think it just comes down to is that we are very comfortable and we come to know what to expect with a 2-hour show when it comes to SmackDown. As for Raw, where there was that big contrast, is that we're just not used to it yet, which is why I go back to what I say on my Monday Night Raw review. When it comes to Monday nights, it's just going to be adjustment period for not just us as fans, but also for WWE, because now that these superstars don't have as much time as they get, it is going to feel like a little bit of a speed run for maybe until we get past Crown Jewel. But yeah, overall, really like this episode of SmackDown. Tell me what y'all think down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Limit Studios.